Hi everyone, Clusmalt Designs here, and this is part 6 of the Meng 1/35th scale Leopard C1 1A3 tank build. So when we last looked at this build here, we were looking at the farmhouse and it is all dry, so we're going to continue work on that. But today we're going to be focusing on the turret of the C1 tank. And that's been pretty much the focus of my build lately. And it doesn't look like much. Looks like I just slapped some pieces on, but of course when you're taking resin pieces off, the sprue, so to speak, it's delicate work because resin pieces can be brittle. And these ones here are not brittle, but when they're on the sprue, I'm going to call it the sprue, but they're molded on pretty hard, right? So you got to do a lot of scraping and smoothing and sanding, that kind of work. So you want to take your time with it, and then of course, because the instruction booklet I'm working with, and this set here calls for a late C1 tank, and I'm actually going for, I would say, a mid-80s C1 tank. Okay, in my last videos I said 90s. That's incorrect. I'm actually going to be going for a mid-80s C1 tank because obviously it says 1977 to 1993. So we're actually going for like a mid-80s C1 tank. So pretty much what this picture shows, right? So, and all through the book it shows the tank progressing through time. So a few things that we're going to be omitting, obviously, is like the basket and a few parts, here and there, right? So you really got to slow down, take your time with this, because in a way I'm almost working with 3 instruction booklets, right? I got the kit instruction booklet, this instruction booklet, and then the book, right? So I really slow down, take my time, and make sure I'm doing things correctly, because right off the bat you're actually you're taking your kit piece and then you're actually scraping away molded on details, right? And you don't want to scrape away something accidentally and go, oh, I needed it, because again, you're building essentially a German model, right? A German tank, and trying to convert it to Canadian. So us Canadians always take something and change things completely, right? Maybe it's for our environments or certain things we do for what are our mission specific things, right? So anyway, deep breath, and let's show you what we've done. So obviously we've scraped away details and we've added details. And with resin parts, you really got to be careful when you're separating it from its cast, because it can be brittle, and especially with real small parts, right? And that's exactly what we've done. We've separated it from its cast and placed it where we needed to place our parts. And you can see that's right there. That's not resin. That's just me filling in with putty, because that's not needed, right? Because it's Canadian now. And these parts here, like those railing sets, that originally would have went there if we were building a German tank, right? Right there. But because we're building Canadian, they don't go there. They go there. So there we go. And then of course, working with that, we got all sorts of equipment now. So I wanted to show this off definitely before painting, right? So any white or gray parts that you see, that's all aftermarket parts. And of course right here, that's going to be for the antennas. That actually required me to remove a piece and actually cut open the tank to accommodate that whole entire piece right there, and then do some putty work right there. So that turned out rather well. So that'll come in handy later once I start doing some spraying and stuff like that. It'll come in really nice. And then of course there's some PE parts, first PE parts, the gold ones there to touch the model. Good thing with tanks, any kind of mistakes that you might make, you can always kind of hide with mud or battle damage. That's a beauty thing about tanks. I know it kind of sounds like a bit of a cop-out, I guess, if you make a mistake. You can hide it with mud or whatever. Sounds kind of funny, but it's true. So that's the first bit anyway, as far as turret work goes. It doesn't look like much. It looks like I just glued on some parts, but if you factor in all the sanding and smoothing, and then of course, you know, the taking away of parts, that's many hours there of work, just trying to convert this to Canadian. And of course, all the consulting that you have to do with your book, right? And especially because we're making this a mid-80s kind of tank. You know, looking at this instruction booklet, that instruction booklet, and then consulting your reference material, that's a lot of back and forth, back and forth. But it makes this model unique, right? Because now it's my own. So there we go. So it's not the longest video, maybe not the most exciting video, but work is continuing, and it's going to be great finally seeing a Canadian C1 tank model out there, because there's not too many. So I'm going to continue work on this as well as the diorama now, because it looks like my house, I touched it and it is all dry. So we're going to start adding more detail to that, and maybe start actually gluing some parts down so that we can continue maybe adding some more you know, grass and such to there, maybe the eaves troughs and, you know, special things that I bought to make this way more detailed. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I look forward to your comments on this build. So thanks so much, guys. Bye.